So even though it's been many years, 38 years, I still remember that day very clearly. I can't forget the day I rejected the army. I was sentenced to a total of 2 years in prison. Initially I spent 2 months in a military prison, and for the rest of the time I was in a civilian prison which was run by the government. Those first 2 months in the military jail were incredibly painful and unbearable. I don't even want to think about it again. I endured lots of torture, a threat, and spent the whole day sitting on a cold floor in an uncomfortable position. The food I got 3 times a day, but it was smelly and dirty, and the rice was terribly lacking in nutrition. I couldn't even brush my teeth because they didn't allow us to have toothbrushes for fear of self-harm. I remember brushing my teeth once after two weeks, and my gums started bleeding. The soldiers subjected us to various forms of torture, like making us sit in one place for a long time, hanging us from iron bars until we were exhausted, physically beating and depriving us of sleep. There were times when they made me stay awake for more than a day or 2 days. Their main goal behind all this torture was to make me come back to military training camp again. During this time, some brothers, they were injured and became disabled due to torture. And there were reports of brothers dying from severe torture. Some of them surrendered and went back to their military camp. They couldn't stand the torture anymore and they gave up their neutral stance. Before the 1980s, military jails were really bad places to brothers. They were tortured and abused, and some even died. Others had to suffer for a long time and became disabled after they were let out of prison. Well, and then later I was transferred to a different prison as run by the civilian, so that is civilian prison. There wasn't as much physical abuse there anymore, but some other prisoners, like murderers and burglars, they hurt and bullied me sometimes. I still faced occasional physical abuse, other inmates who were in my small prison cell. The prison was it was also really harsh and dirty, and it made me sick with skin disease. It's because of the bad smells and extreme temperatures. It was really painful and hard to bear. However, even though I was brainwashed at the time, I managed to overcome all these difficulties because I felt like I was growing stronger and more capable of taking on challenges. So I don't regret or feel sorry about my experience. Well, I have a photo that was taken secretly inside the prison. I have kept it like a treasure. As you know, taking a photo inside the prison was strictly prohibited, but it was so secretly taken by an official guy who cared for me at that time. I have kept it to myself for a long time. But now I'm ready to reveal it. I'm going to open it after this video. Stay tuned for the next part of the story. Thank you.